Hey, I'm Baby Queen.
Hi, I'm Katie Beza.
Hey, this is Ram McMullen.
Hi guys, Lara here.
Hey, I'm Jim from Koala.
Hi, I'm Astralis.
And you are listening to Lame Heart.
And you're listening to Lame Heart.
And you're listening to Lame Heart.
It's out now.
I really hope you enjoy it.
So enjoy.
Finally, with the debut album, and probably the coziest looking interviewees I've ever seen. Welcome 49th of Main to Lame Heart.
Hi, thanks for having us. We can get cozier if you
I
want.
can definitely get
We
cozy.
could really lean back here and
Hey, be my guest.
dream back.
Let's go.
I feel like I'm in the living room with you now.
I feel like we're being intimidating leaning back.
Oh, it's like I'm at the job interview now.
Yeah.
That's class. Thank you for coming on. We've so much to talk about. Of course, the main thing is we have the album. It's landed, it's all finished, and run through a few headlines. We've over 200 million streams, sold out North American tour just done. Your music is obviously just so well loved in Ireland. Like it's just the right timing for the album because it just feels like summer, sitting on grass, letting the sun go down slowly. It's like if Joy Anonymous were very bright instead of dark and moody, that's kind of a vibe I'm getting.
That's sick. Yeah, I love that.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna admit them.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally have the word joy in their name. So,
Well, that's not in a shady way. Sometimes you really want the dark and moody stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
you're
We've got some
right.
dark and moody coming, I feel. There's a couple of them.
Lovely. So it's the debut album, Happy Tears. When did you decide it was album time? Because we've had lots of music over the last few years.
Yeah. Probably. I think last summer. So it's probably like a year. Where we were kind of on a run of releasing a few singles, and we didn't really have like a plan long term. We knew that we were going to do an album eventually, um, and then I think it just came to a head where like we were building up some momentum, like gaining a lot of new listeners, and it just felt like a nice time
Yeah.
to sit down and be like, you know what, we've got a lot of demos, we've been working like constantly on new music, and it just feels like I don't know, it just felt right. Like I didn't want to force it or try and do anything kind of like unnatural. Like if we didn't feel like we had music or if it didn't feel like it was going to work, then we would have stopped. But I don't know, it just like felt like the right time, and then we put the foot down and got it finished probably around like just at the end of like Christmas, around Christmas we got it done.
Yeah.
God, are you constantly working? Are you just like prolific? Are there always like ideas flowing around, even as you're touring and stuff?
Well, there's no work. First of all, it's not working.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way of putting it.
But
I
always
guess,
chipping away.
yeah, there is always like I guess Ben's always producing, and I'm always just trying to even sometimes do a bit of writing myself, like completely separate. But like, there's always tracks to write on, so I'll always be bopping whatever like we have unreleased and unfinished as well.
You have a lot of free time when you're a musician,
Yeah.
so like you kind of have to fill it doing something.
Yeah.
When you're marked as self-employed, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no schedule.
Yeah.
You kind of you got to keep tipping away.
Yeah, that's absolutely class. And it's resulted in this 21 track body of work. Initially, when I saw it was 21 tracks, I was like, prolific is the right word. And one thing, I love that it has all these interludes that are a train announcer. And, I was on a treadmill the first time that I had the AirPods in to fully listen to the album, and I nearly fell off when I heard failure to present a valid ticket will result in a fine of up to 6 Hail Marys.
Yeah.
That's it.
That was a great one.
Yeah, I think that'll come kind of out of left field for a lot of people. Yeah, it's a fun way to start it.
Yeah. What was the like train journey vibe? Where did that come from, or what were you trying to tell with this?
I think initially it actually like the idea came from I was doing a lot of like working on the album on trains, like up and down to Cork. And I remember like I'd use like the voice note on iPhone to record just kind of like background noise and like the announcer and stuff. And I was putting that in the songs. I don't think a lot of it actually made it onto the album, but like it was just like a tool I was using for producing. And I think that was like the seed of the idea. And then it kind of came to like, okay, we're putting together a project. We want to tell this story. and I'm like, I'll admit I'm not the best like writer. So I wanted to tell this story and take people on a journey. So I was like, why don't we just like literally put people like on a journey situation and just put them on a train? Um, and yeah, that was just kind of my like weird mechanism for trying to tell this story. And I just I love like the idea of a concept album and not like and having like scenes and characters and things like that. Yeah, I'd always loved those growing up. So yeah, just try to incorporate it in a an interesting way.
Well, I suppose there's so many reminders in the songs to kind of be grounded and reminded to enjoy everything as much as you can, and the interludes kind of serve as a chance to sit and reflect, like you
Yeah.
would on a real train.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, actually. It is nice because it, before the kind of interlude bits were in there, sometimes it could feel like a real, especially because
Gear
like
change kind of thing.
it, like the genres jump around and stuff, and like different tempos and moods, and it just kind of felt like a real wall, like you're getting hit with like a wave of music.
Yeah.
And yeah, the little breaks in between really do help digest the whole listening experience because it is a while. I think it's like 50 something minutes. So you kind of need a little break every now and then.
Yeah, but the good long album is good, and I like the sort of, even if it was without interludes, the constant, just like the energy is just there, as I've seen live, you know. So it's really good to have all that.
Have you been to a show?
Yes, I was in the Academy
Oh, class.
December 2022. It was like 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
You popped out of Christmas paper wrapped boxes to Bonkers by Dizzy Rascal.
Yeah.
Fairly sure there was crowd surfing, and there was Fairy Tale in New York at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had it all.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
cool.
I just remember the energy. Like,
Yeah, it was
That was a
great.
lot of fun.
That was like our biggest show we had done at the time, and it was like a lot of fun. Those presents were like a real last minute idea.
Yeah.
The whole yeah, we went
Come
I
on.
don't know.
hello.
But yeah, we like went to like a what's it called? Not Woody's, one of those kind of like garden center shops, and we just like saw this inflatable Santa, and we are like, why don't we just go for it Christmas style? And yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was. And I don't have it today, but I found recently the booklet that you gave out to everyone. It
Oh
was this
yeah, yeah,
green one,
yeah.
and it had lyrics
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for your
Like
like unreleased song
It
on
was
it.
like a hymn. It was almost like a hymn sheet
Exactly.
for like Christmas Mass. Yeah, I remember doing them. I think a couple of them. I think like before we had maybe was there some kind of competition being ran where some of them had like we had signed it. I can't remember anyway, but yeah, they were cool. They were actually quite cool.
Definitely. And I think at that point I was a bit familiar with your music, but I will say there was a lot that I didn't know, but I said I really want to really road test these two guys, see what it's like, go to a show. And the energy really just, I know it's the word I keep coming back to, but I just can't forget it because it was so surprising in a good way. Kind of, I was not expecting it, but to see the crowd reaction as well, it's just
Yeah.
mad how much Ireland has gotten behind you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the those fans are crazy. Like our I think it's probably stems from close friends of ours. They kind of will come to the big shows and kind of park themselves like right in the middle of the crowd, and I think the energy just kind of bleeds out from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to thank them for doing that.
That's great. They've helped you all the way up to
Oh, big time.
the album and continuing on. And so I was immediately struck by the cover because of all of these bold colors, with you both emerging from a door and a trapdoor on a grassy hill, very rich blue sky behind it. What are the stories being told without too many spoilers?
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of I think that's great that you were struck by the colors because that was something that we talked about a lot. We had a couple of different like cover ideas. One of them was more involving like the screen, and it was almost like the cover art was like the outline of a screen, but like it was kind of we thought it was going to be too dark. Um, and like all the album covers that like I remember walking through a shop, like a record shop, and I was always like picking up the brightest ones. Like just naturally, I was kind of drawn to like the more big saturated colors and stuff. Um, But yeah, these the Doors, what can I say without? I guess they're
Not sure
kind
I think
of
myself.
the idea is that the grass is it's kind of nostalgia. It tells a story of like looking back into the past and kind of remembering things kind of maybe more positively than they usually happen. Like the grass is kind of greener when you look back. Uh,
Mm.
I guess we're just trying to live in the moment and really enjoy the now and not kind of try and manufacture this like perfect world in our head and just kind of enjoy the now. I guess is probably the best way I could say it without giving away too much.
No, that's a good way. So the bright colors are just a blatant cash grab to get people to pick it up in a shop, or
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
but no, just before you said that, I did think I actually can't wait to pick this up. It's gonna look really good, like when it's in the real world, like in your
Yeah,
hands.
we have like a mock-up one. It's not the real one yet, but like yeah, it's cool. I can't wait for like just to hold the real thing because we've never had physical work done before.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to just I don't even care. Like I just want to hold
Yeah. I don't even have a vinyl. I want 10 of them.
it.
Yeah, I love the color discs are so nice. The swirly one, and then there's the blue one as well. Like it's all gonna just look sick. So
Yeah.
credit to the mood board, credit to the designers, credit to everyone involved.
Yeah.
Shout out Pinterest.
Shout out to Pinterest. And so into the content of the album, like you've already had some hits in the lead up with the likes of Self Sabotage and Hold On and Can't Walk Away. But I would be feeling like this was a wasted opportunity if I didn't speak about my favorite one since the very, very start. Feels Right. This
Oh,
one struck me the second I heard it, and then I spoke to someone from your team and I said, "This is the one." And I was very happy when I found out it was going to be a single. So it's great in just that it's very long, that it's like nearly 5 minutes, but it's the perfect length, that it's its own saga that tosses you around in this Bohemian Rhapsody of blending Bobby Caldwell with dancing and the unts unts unts. Like you, this one you cooked this one.
Yeah.
That's yeah, thank you. That's very kind. Um, yeah, shout out to Bobby Caldwell, rest in peace. Um, yeah, it was so much fun to make. I mean, I think that went through like a lot of iterations. There's almost like a couple different songs that you can hear have been blended in that one. But I remember, yeah, that came together like before last year, probably like a year and a half ago. I remember I was making a lot of music for like strictly myself. Like I didn't really like have the plan of releasing it. So I was making kind of weird decisions and doing weird things with samples and stuff, and that was like one of the surviving songs from when I made a bunch of songs back then. Yeah, and that's why it's just kind of like weird and different. Yeah, I'm glad you like that one.
Yeah.
That was one I was always kind of like, I don't know if people are gonna like this. It's just different. It's not really like a lot of things that we had put out before. So yeah, I'm really glad you like it.
I think when you blend so many different things into one song instead of keeping it as three, four, five dealer's choice of number songs, it can be like a risk, but when it's crafted right, it like the risk pays off big time because it just feels so fresh. And I think this is going to go down really well, like in the car and
Yeah.
especially at the gigs. Like,
Yeah, I'm excited to. We haven't really like thought about how we're going to play some of these live, but that's going to be a fun challenge. And it kind of bleeds into the next song. Like the ending of that song actually kind of bleeds into the next interlude like perfectly.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
definitely. Working towards the end of the album, you've the final track is a reading of William Ernest Henley's Invictus, but entirely as Gaeilge. So what made you want to one finish on a poem and two in Irish?
So the poem is just like it meant a lot to me with the story behind it. It's always kind of even before I knew the story. It's obviously it's Invictus, a famous poem. Um, and William Ernest Henley wrote it when he was sick in hospital. He was in a hospital bed, and he was kind of pretty fed up, and he made this song. He wrote this poem, an absolutely amazing poem. Um, and it always like meant a lot to me. Um, So then I kind of had the idea of having like the it be involved in the album in some way. And I just thought it would be really cool to have it in Irish. Um, just to make it like kind of the theme of the album is authenticity. Like we didn't want to make an album for the sake of making one. We wanted to like speak on something that was like true to us, like and you know we are Irish, and yeah, reached out to a friend of mine, who is Gael Gore is a primary school teacher, and he sent it off to a friend of his who's like a professor of Irish. Because I looked online and there's no translations anywhere.
So,
I even typed it into like AI, tried to get like, and they kept giving me different versions. And then like, I remember I sent one of the versions to him, and he was like, "No, that's bollocks.
yeah.
Scrap this. We're gonna start from scratch." And then I was gonna give it to somebody to just like read because he had written it down. So I was gonna give it to a voice actor to like read it out. And he was like, "No, he's gonna mess up the pronunciation. It's not gonna be right at all." So yeah, I'm really glad that he took the time to do it. And yeah, I think it's just like a really nice way to bookend the album.
Yeah, that Munster Irish, even as an Irish speaker, that's the one dialect I find really difficult. So you got someone really poetic on this.
Yeah, big time. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really glad that people can like people who know will hopefully be able to like they'll know.
Yeah.
They'll know it is
Yeah,
we haven't kind of skimped out or done it cheaply or anything. I hope we've done a service to the language.
not at all. It's extremely rich as a translation, and it's a beautiful note to hear at the end of all of this dancing music.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. That's great.
That's good. Can't wait as well that this is all going to be going on tour. You're just constantly gigging, and I can vouch for my own experience that it's class. And you just like I can't imagine from seeing you in the academy what it must have been like then to go to places like Outernet in London and the Olympia in Dublin sold out, which is twice the size. Like, dude, how does no one get like heat stroke?
Yeah. To be fair, we haven't had anyone ever have like any actual proper issues like that. Whereas I've been
That's
at
good. Respectful crowd.
Holiday, I remember it was like everyone was dropping, and I was like, "This is crazy." I was like, "That's a whole other like scare you'd have while on stage." Just like that's insane. Hopefully, that doesn't happen anytime soon.
Yeah. So what was all that kind of reception like?
It was amazing. I
Yeah,
mean, like the venues are incredible. Like the people running them, shout out to all them. Like they always make the experience so easy, and like we're always so like nervous and still kind of getting used to all this.
yeah,
Like as the venues get bigger, it's kind of our first time playing in like that was our first time playing in a theater. Um, yeah, it's all very strange and it still feels quite new getting used to it. I don't think I'm gonna get over those like pre-gig nerves anytime soon.
no,
Um, but yeah, it's just incredible. It's incredible to see packed out rooms and people singing the songs, and yeah, that's what it's all about. Like it really feels like an experience, and the energy in those rooms is crazy, and it really feels like everyone kind of leaves whatever they're going through at the door and then just like has the best time, forgets about everything and just like screams and sweats and has fun together. And yeah, it's like it's an amazing thing to be a part of. And you know, thank you to everyone who's supported us and bought tickets. And yeah, it's hopefully long may it continue.
That's absolutely beautiful. And then later in the year, there's going to be the Europe tour. So tickets available for that album, Happy Tears. Go get it on vinyl, go get it on CD, run it up on the streams. Thank you so much for Night the Main for coming on to Lame Heart to tell me all about this.
No problem. Thank you so much for having us.
thank you for having us.